Alzheimer's affects every American in every community, of every income demographic. It affects people of all generations. This is not just an old person's disease. We now know this disease begins its ugly work 20 to 30 years before symptoms appear. My late mother-in-law was funny and powerful and strong, and you saw this vibrant force of nature being dragged down by this disease. And if you see it, you know that Alzheimer's starts in the family. There are 5.8 million people experiencing Alzheimer's today. But that's the tip of the iceberg, because that does not account for the fact that 500,000 people a year are dying of this disease. We've lost millions of Americans. It's the most feared disease by far than cancer, than diabetes, than anything else. It is an epidemic. So what do? You either can say, that's really a shame, it's a tragedy for the family, I'm going to go on with my life, or you can say, I'm going to fight this. Our first objective when we formed Us Against Alzheimer's was get the United States committed. We wanted to set a time-based goal for our efforts to stop Alzheimer's. The government set 2025 as that goal. We got Congress to begin to invest in Alzheimer's at greater numbers than everyone would have thought. We've worked with the G7, we worked with the G20, we're working now with smaller countries around the world. The problem of Alzheimer's is not just a US problem. 50 million families around the world affected by it. Women, 2/3 of the victims, 2/3 the caregivers. African Americans, 2 to 3 times more likely than whites at the same age to get the disease. Latinos, about 1.5 times as likely to get this disease as non-Latino whites. The real heroes against this disease are the clinical trial participants, the people that put their lives on the line and say, I am willing to fight, not just for myself, but for my family and for all the people that are going to be affected. As I look back on the last 9 years, I'm proud of what we've done and who we have brought to this fight. But we have a long way to go. Here we have a disease that 60 to 70 million people say is touching them. If every one of those individuals spoke up, it would be an overwhelming political force, a demand on industry, a demand on the research community to act more rapidly in a more collaborative fashion. Are you going to stand aside and just allow those 60 million people to experience this disease and not respond? There's now a global movement that's emerging, and we are proud to have played some part. We still are on track to have an effective means of treatment or prevention by 2025. I think it's important for everyone to get involved. There is a real movement here. Raise your voice. Do something.